Hi friends, I've been telling a lot of people Tzom Kal, a light fast. That's a traditional wish before Yom Kippur, the Jewish holiday, very solemn that starts tonight. So it's been on my mind saying that, Tzom Kal. I think the plain meaning is that it should be a light fast as opposed to a heavy fast in the very physical sense. You know, that you shouldn't get a headache, the caffeine withdrawal shouldn't be so bad, that, you should kind of wear the fast lightly as you walk along. And that got me thinking more about the word kal, and it's used differently in the Gemara. There's two use cases that, in my limited experience, are very common. One is the idea of kal v'chomer, that you take a case that's strict and you can learn from it about a case. Let me change that. You take a case that, is where the rules are stricter generally around it, and you take a case that where the rules are lighter, and you try to learn about from the heavy case about the lighter case, kind of. So it's a question of strictures. And then there's a Tzom. Then there's an idea of kal shebakalim, that like basically the dummies, the lightest of the light, are there. So there's two meanings to kal. One is like that if it's true in one case, the chomer case, then it's got to be true in the kal case, in the lighter case. The other idea is that kal is stupidity, and I'm thinking, what kind of wishes are we saying when we say tzom kal to people? In addition to the plain meaning of, kind of physically not so demanding fast. It'd be easy to slip into kal shebakalim, to the dumb kind of fast, where it's that you just kind of are not reflective while you're going through it. I've definitely done that, and probably I expect for a fair amount of time during the fast that's coming up, I'll be in that state where it's like, oh God, when is this over? And this is really hard. And without thinking about the way that you're being in it and why you're doing it. It's very, very easy to slip into that. And then kal v'chomer, I'm thinking, how does kal v'chomer fit in here? The kind of obvious, the case where it's kind of obvious and then less obvious. I'm thinking that if we're having a fast that's light, well, what's the more important case? What's the heavier case? And the heavier case, I think in this case, would be why we're fasting, that we should have a connection, that we should be in tune with the themes of the day of divine mercy, of forgiveness of sin, and the spiritual work that would make us sin less. And if we can focus on that, then of course the fasting itself, the psalm itself, becomes of lesser consequence. That the spiritual work and our connection to God that we're working on is heavy, and of course we're going to be fasting, because that helps us to get there, but it's not the most important of the day. So I want to bless you with a Tzom Kal in all of its meanings. That if you're on the level of kal b'kalim, that you're kind of in a dumb place in your fasting, that you have mercy on yourself through it, that everyone gets into it, just like I will be, I'm sure, probably at some point. But I'm sure, not probably, I will be at this point at some point, and I hope you have mercy on yourself during those times. I hope it's not too demanding a fast, that it's a kal in kind of the normal way that we sent, that it's not too painful, it doesn't feel too burdensome. And I hope for myself and for all of us that we can get to a place of kal v'chomer, where of course we're fasting because our connection to God and the spiritual work that we're doing on that day is so important, that the physical demand of the fasting, the psalm is kal relative to the chomer of the spiritual work we're doing, and the physical demands kind of slip into the background. They're like, yeah, we're fasting, but gosh, that's so much less important than the beauty of us focusing on our connection to God and our awareness of divine mercy during the holiday. So friends, Tzom Kal.